Listen, everybody, imagine this every night as you lay down, your body is quietly working. Not in a loud, obvious way, but in the small, hidden mechanics of your cells, your organs, your mind. What if I told you that one simple, almost invisible action tonight could amplify that process, could help your body repair itself in ways you've only dreamed of? And all it takes is something so small, something so ordinary, that you might overlook it completely. A tiny spice, that's it, a humble, everyday spice that could transform the way your body heals while you sleep. We often underestimate the power of tiny, consistent actions. We look for big solutions, miracle pills, expensive treatments, extreme diets. But real change doesn't work that way. Real change happens quietly, in the background, the same way your body works while you sleep. When you chew that spice tonight, it triggers a cascade of processes that scientists have been studying for decades. The compounds in it don't just interact with your stomach, they reach deep into your bloodstream, whispering to your cells, now is the time to repair. Now is the time to strengthen. Think about the last time you woke up feeling completely refreshed. Not just rested, but vibrant, alive, ready to conquer the day. That feeling isn't just luck, it's the result of your body aligning its systems perfectly while you sleep, your hormones stabilizing, your immune system repairing, your brain clearing out toxins. Now imagine giving your body a tool to make that alignment stronger. That spice acts as a signal, telling your metabolism, your digestive system, and even your brain that tonight is an opportunity for transformation. And here's something most people don't realize: sleep isn't passive. Every hour you spend in bed, your body is in motion, performing a symphony of restoration. It's rebuilding muscle tissue, flushing out waste, recalibrating your nervous system, and even balancing your blood sugar. That tiny spice is like adding a conductor to that orchestra, one that makes every instrument play in perfect harmony. Your energy tomorrow, your clarity, your focus, all of it can be elevated just by one simple act tonight. Now, I know some of you are thinking, it's just a spice. Can it really make that much difference? And I get it. We live in a world obsessed with instant gratification, where we want overnight results from massive interventions. But nature doesn't work that way. Nature works in whispers, not shouts. The human body responds to subtle signals, not drastic shocks. That tiny spice isn't magic, it's an invitation. It's a way to work with your body, to honor the natural cycles it's already performing every night. Think about it, every problem you face, every challenge, every moment of fatigue is often compounded by the small neglects in your daily life. Poor sleep, stress, unhealthy habits, they all pile up. But the beauty is, your body has an innate ability to heal, to reset, to regenerate. And sometimes it just needs a little nudge, a gentle push in the right direction. That tiny spice is that nudge. It's not a replacement for your efforts, it's an amplifier. It multiplies what you're already doing right and quietly repairs what you've been unknowingly breaking down. Here's another thing to consider. This isn't just about the physical body. There's a mental component too. When you make the conscious choice to care for yourself in this way, you're sending a signal to your mind: you are worthy of health, you are worthy of restoration. That act of mindfulness, of choosing this tiny, simple ritual, creates a ripple effect. Your mind and body are interconnected. And when you honor one, the other responds in kind. Chewing that spice isn't just a biochemical reaction, it's a declaration, a small but profound act of self-respect. And the science behind it is fascinating. Certain compounds in this spice can reduce inflammation, boost circulation, and even enhance the body's natural detoxification processes. These aren't just abstract benefits. They are tangible, measurable changes that occur while you sleep. Your cells divide and repair faster, your tissues recover more efficiently, and your immune system strengthens. You may not feel it immediately, but over days and weeks, the results compound. You begin to wake up feeling lighter, more focused, more energized. You start noticing your cravings changing, your mood stabilizing, your overall vitality increasing. But it's not just about physical health. This tiny ritual has the power to instill discipline, consistency, and awareness in other areas of life. When you commit to one small, seemingly insignificant action, you reinforce your ability to take control of bigger habits. You show yourself that transformation doesn't require massive leaps. It requires small, intentional steps taken consistently. And those steps compound into something extraordinary over time. It's fascinating how something so small can create such a profound effect. One spice, one bite, one simple choice, and your body begins a process that it has been capable of all along, but now with amplified potential. You are tapping into an ancient rhythm, a natural process that humans have used for centuries, yet modern life has almost made us forget. The power to repair, to restore, to rejuvenate is inside you, waiting for a simple trigger. That trigger can be tonight. And remember, this is not about perfection. You don't need to overhaul your entire life, change your diet completely, or follow a strict regimen. Transformation often begins with the tiniest of actions repeated consistently. The spice isn't a shortcut, it's a companion on your journey. It's a reminder that change is possible, even in small, almost invisible doses. You are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. Every night is an opportunity to reclaim your energy, your focus, your health. So tonight, when you lie down, when the world quiets down and your body begins its nightly symphony, think about the tiny act that can unlock so much potential. Imagine your cells repairing faster, your brain clearing out the clutter, your immune system strengthening, all while you rest peacefully. That's the power of one small conscious choice. It's proof that sometimes the most extraordinary results come from the simplest actions, and in this simplicity lies empowerment. In this tiny, almost invisible ritual lies a promise that you can influence your health, your energy, your vitality, and your future in a profound way without struggle or sacrifice. Just one small act, one bite, one decision to honor your body and your natural rhythms. The transformation is subtle at first, but relentless in its impact. Over time, it reshapes your nights, your mornings, and ultimately your life. We live in a world that constantly tells us that change requires monumental effort. Everyday advertisements, social media, and even well-meaning friends and mentors push the idea that you need to overhaul your life completely to see results. You need a new diet, a new exercise regimen, a brand new routine, or an expensive supplement. And while these things can help, the truth is far simpler and far more empowering. The most profound changes often come from the smallest, most consistent actions. One tiny choice, repeated consciously, can ripple through your life in ways you never imagined. Consider the way a single seed grows into a mighty tree. No one watches it explode into full height overnight. It starts small, hidden beneath the soil, almost invisible. Day after day, hour after hour, it absorbs water, nutrients, and sunlight. Every small action, every tiny bit of energy it gathers, compounds into life. By the time the world notices it towering above everything else, the growth seems miraculous, but it was never sudden. It was always the result of patient, continuous accumulation. That same principle applies to your body and your health. When you chew that tiny spice before bed, it might feel insignificant in the moment. It's a small act, almost negligible in size, and yet it sets off a chain reaction. That spice contains compounds that interact with your digestive system, your bloodstream, and your cellular systems, signaling them to work more efficiently while you rest. In the quiet hours of sleep, your body takes these signals and uses them to repair tissues, reduce inflammation, and balance critical systems. One small action today amplifies the natural processes that are already occurring inside you. Most people overlook this power because they are conditioned to seek visible, immediate results. They think transformation must be dramatic, a new gym membership, an expensive health program, or an instant fix. But in reality, the human body responds to subtle, consistent stimuli. It responds to repeated signals of care, nourishment, and attention. Tiny actions are like whispers that reach deep into your system, nudging it toward better functioning. You might not notice the difference after the first night or even the first week, but the effects compound, building silently until they become undeniable. Think about the habits that shape your life. Most of them aren't big, sweeping events. They are small, repeated choices: brushing your teeth, drinking water, taking a short walk, or even the way you choose to eat at every meal. Those small decisions, day after day, form the foundation of your health, energy, and longevity. The tiny spice before bed works in the same way. It's a small, intentional act, yet it aligns perfectly with the natural restorative mechanisms of your body. It doesn't force results, it enhances what your body is already capable of. There is a kind of magic in simplicity. When you strip away the noise, the complexity, the overwhelm, you see the power of small, deliberate actions. The humble spice before sleep becomes more than a ritual. It becomes a gateway to change. You're training your body to listen, to respond, and to maximize its own innate potential. Every cell, every tissue, every system starts to work in concert with your intention. You are no longer a passive participant in your health. You are an active collaborator. This idea extends beyond physical health. Every area of life responds to the principle that small actions repeated consistently yield extraordinary results. Learning a skill, building a career, improving your relationships all begin with tiny steps. You don't start by mastering everything at once. You start by showing up, by practicing consistently, by taking the smallest action that moves you forward. Over time, those small actions compound into momentum, and momentum compounds into transformation. When you embrace the power of small actions, you also embrace patience. You no longer expect instant results or miraculous overnight change. You understand that meaningful transformation is a process, a series of deliberate choices strung together over time. You stop judging yourself for what hasn't happened yet and start celebrating the consistency, the intention, and the effort you put in tonight, tomorrow, and the day after. The tiny spice before bed becomes a symbol of that principle, a reminder that you are capable of shaping your life quietly but profoundly. And here's the most empowering part: this power is available to everyone. You don't need extraordinary circumstances, unlimited resources, or perfect timing. All you need is awareness and willingness to take one small, deliberate action. That one bite before bed may seem trivial, but it is a signal to your body, your mind, and your life that you are choosing to care for yourself. That signal is louder and more powerful than you realize because it activates processes that you cannot see but can feel. When you begin to notice the subtle shifts, waking up more energized, feeling lighter, having more mental clarity, you start to understand the profound truth: small, consistent actions are far more transformative than occasional grand gestures. One tiny choice made consistently can ripple outward, changing your energy, your health, and ultimately, your trajectory. And the best part is, it requires no special skill, no drastic effort, no external validation. It requires only presence, intention, and the courage to start small. Most people think of sleep as a passive state, a time when the body shuts down, when the mind pauses, and when nothing much happens. But that is far from the truth. Sleep is one of the most active, vital processes your body undergoes every single day. While you may lie still and appear to be resting, an extraordinary series of events is taking place inside you. Events that affect your energy, your focus, your resilience, and your long-term health. Sleep is not a pause, it is an engine of restoration, a nightly symphony of repair and renewal. And understanding this changes the way you approach everything about your life. Every hour you spend sleeping, your body is performing critical work. Cells are repairing themselves, broken tissues are regenerating, and damage caused by stress or environmental factors is being corrected. Your immune system is strengthening, producing specialized cells that fight off infections, inflammation, and toxins. Hormones like growth hormone and melatonin are released in precise rhythms, guiding everything from metabolism to cognitive performance. Your brain is actively clearing out waste, consolidating memories, and sharpening focus for the day to come. Nothing about this process is passive. Every night, your body runs a complex program designed to make you stronger, healthier, and sharper. But here's the thing most people miss: sleep can be enhanced. You are not merely at the mercy of the hours you spend lying in bed. Certain actions, certain small interventions, and even tiny rituals can amplify the natural restorative processes of sleep. The way you eat before bed, the environment you create for rest, the choices you make in those final hours of wakefulness, they all send signals to your body. Your nervous system interprets these signals and adjusts the repair work accordingly. Chewing a tiny spice before bed is one such signal, a subtle yet powerful cue that tells your body, tonight we heal efficiently, tonight we optimize. The body responds to rhythm. Sleep is not uniform, it consists of cycles, each with a purpose. Light sleep restores certain functions, while deep sleep focuses on cellular repair and immune system optimization. REM sleep consolidates memories, processes emotions, and prepares your brain for peak performance the next day. When you engage in intentional behaviors before sleep, you influence these cycles, helping your body reach the depths of deep sleep more efficiently and experience longer periods of REM sleep. This is where the power of intentional nighttime rituals becomes profound. Small actions multiply the effectiveness of natural processes that are already incredible on their own. Many people underestimate the compounding effects of consistently optimized sleep. One night of poor rest is noticeable, yes, but one night of intentional restorative sleep begins to create a subtle accumulation of energy, focus, and mental clarity. Over weeks, that accumulation becomes exponential. Your digestion improves, your cravings stabilize, your emotional resilience strengthens, and your cognitive sharpness heightens. You begin to see your days differently because your nights have become a time of profound transformation. Sleep is no longer a passive necessity, it becomes an active investment in yourself. Think about it from the perspective of energy management. Most people try to push themselves harder, drink more caffeine, or chase external solutions to feel awake and alert. But what if the real solution has always been within you, quietly waiting while you slept? When your sleep is optimized, your energy management system works perfectly. Your body knows when to rest, when to repair, and when to prepare for the demands of the next day. Every system is synchronized, from your muscles to your hormones to your nervous system. That tiny action before sleep, that conscious choice, acts as a key to unlock this perfect synchronization. There is also a profound mental and emotional component to optimize sleep. Sleep allows your brain to process the stress, anxiety, and emotional weight of the day. It consolidates lessons, clears clutter, and prepares your mind for clarity and decision-making. When you take steps to enhance the quality of your sleep, you are investing not only in your physical health, but also in your mental resilience. A body and mind that repair efficiently during sleep become sharper, calmer, and more capable of handling the challenges that life inevitably presents. And it's fascinating how even the smallest interventions can have ripple effects. One simple act, like chewing a specific spice before bed, sends chemical signals that interact with the body's repair mechanisms. Inflammation is reduced, circulation is improved, digestion is enhanced, and even cellular detoxification is amplified. Over time, these small signals compound into a powerful difference that affects every waking moment. You start to notice that your energy lasts longer, your focus deepens, your mood stabilizes, and even your habits begin to shift. Sleep becomes a tool for transformation, not merely a necessity. What this teaches us is that the most powerful transformations are rarely dramatic or immediate. They are subtle, cumulative, and deeply aligned with natural processes. Sleep exemplifies this principle perfectly. Your body is capable of extraordinary repair, rejuvenation, and optimization if you give it the proper signals. Every night is an opportunity to amplify your health, reset your systems, and prepare for success. And when you honor this process, when you act consciously to enhance it, you are investing in the most fundamental foundation of all, yourself. Sleep is not a passive state. It is your body's most powerful tool for restoration, and it responds to your choices. It rewards intentional action, magnifies small conscious behaviors, and creates compounding effects that transform your energy, focus, and resilience. When you understand this, every night becomes a chance to repair, restore, and optimize in ways that the waking mind alone cannot achieve. Change rarely comes from one monumental effort. True transformation is not about the days you feel motivated, the moments when everything aligns perfectly, or the times when life feels easy. Real transformation comes from consistency, the small deliberate actions repeated day after day, night after night, until they compound into a force that cannot be ignored. It is this principle that separates fleeting success from lasting achievement, fleeting energy from sustained vitality, and temporary habits from a complete life overhaul. Consistency is the hidden engine that drives all meaningful progress, and when paired with mindfulness, it becomes unstoppable. Mindfulness is the awareness of the moment, the conscious attention you give to each action you take. When you combine consistency with mindfulness, each small choice you make becomes intentional, purposeful, and powerful. Chewing a tiny spice before bed, for example, is not just a mechanical act. It is a mindful signal to your body, a conscious decision to participate in your own restoration. Each night you repeat this habit, you reinforce the message that you value your health, your energy, and your potential. This repeated mindfulness trains not only your body, but your mind to recognize the power of deliberate action. Most people underestimate the compounding effects of consistency. We live in a culture that glorifies instant results, overnight transformations, and sudden breakthroughs. Yet the truth is that lasting change is rarely sudden. It is gradual, subtle, and cumulative. Every consistent choice, no matter how small, creates a ripple that spreads far beyond the immediate moment. The energy you gain from better sleep accumulates. The mental clarity you experience from mindful habits compounds. The discipline you build through repeated small actions strengthens over time, creating a foundation that supports even greater achievements. Consistency also fosters resilience. When you commit to small actions regularly, you learn to push through resistance, fatigue, and doubt. Life is unpredictable and challenges will always arise. But the strength built through consistent, mindful action allows you to stay steady even in the face of adversity. You start to trust yourself and your ability to create change. You understand that the path to transformation is not defined by perfection, but by persistence. Even when progress seems slow or invisible, the work you are doing is accumulating in ways that will eventually manifest with undeniable impact. Mindfulness, paired with consistency, also transforms the way you perceive your habits. Small actions are no longer trivial or insignificant. They are powerful statements of intent. When you chew that spice before bed, it becomes more than just a step in a routine. It becomes a declaration. You are capable of influencing your health, energy, and life through deliberate choices. Your body responds, your mind responds, and over time, your life responds. This simple awareness magnifies the effect of every small action, turning ordinary rituals into extraordinary tools for transformation. There is also a profound psychological effect at play. Consistent, mindful action builds self-efficacy, the belief that you are capable of producing meaningful change. Each day you follow through on your intentions, no matter how small, strengthens this belief. You begin to see yourself as someone who acts, someone who follows through, someone who honors their own potential. This self-perception becomes a feedback loop. The stronger your belief in yourself, the more consistent and mindful your actions become, and the more dramatic the transformation you experience. The power of consistency extends beyond physical health. It shapes your mindset, your focus, and your capacity to achieve goals. A habit practiced nightly, no matter how small, teaches discipline. Discipline in one area spills over into others. You begin to approach challenges differently, to act with more intentionality, to make decisions that align with your long-term vision rather than short-term impulses. This is the beauty of compounding action. It is never isolated. Every mindful, consistent choice reinforces others, creating a network of habits that lift you in every aspect of life. Consistency also allows you to track real progress. Life often feels chaotic because results don't appear immediately, and inconsistency creates fluctuations that obscure your growth. By committing to deliberate actions consistently, you create measurable momentum. You can feel it, see it, and recognize it. Your energy stabilizes, your focus sharpens, your health improves, and your mind becomes clearer. This tangible evidence of progress fuels motivation, creating a positive feedback cycle that reinforces your commitment. Perhaps the most important lesson of all is that transformation is never about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up. The nights when you are tired, distracted, or unmotivated are exactly the moments when consistency matters most. It is in these moments that the habit transforms from a simple action into a demonstration of discipline, a tangible proof that you are committed to your own growth. Mindfulness ensures that each repetition is intentional, that each small choice carries meaning, and that each act compounds into long-term transformation. Consistency and mindfulness together are not just strategies, they are principles of life. They teach patience, strengthen resilience, build self-efficacy, and magnify the effects of every small action. They turn ordinary habits into extraordinary forces of change. They show you that you are not at the mercy of circumstances or fleeting motivation. Every night, every small deliberate action, every mindful choice becomes a building block. Over time, these blocks accumulate into a structure of lasting strength, health, and vitality that no external force can undermine. When you understand this, you realize that transformation is never about drastic measures or sudden breakthroughs. It is about showing up consistently, acting mindfully, and trusting in the compounding effect of small, intentional actions. Every choice, no matter how small, contributes to a larger picture. Every night, every habit, every moment of awareness builds toward a life of sustained energy, focus, and resilience. If you want, I can now combine all three expanded keynotes into one full 3,400. plus word motivational speech, ready for a long-form YouTube video motivational content with perfect flow and transitions. Do you want me to do that? Give me best conclusion of Wool speech and add ending sentence in the end. Here's a powerful motivational conclusion for the entire speech, tying together all three keynotes and leaving a lasting impact. When you step back and see the bigger picture, it becomes clear that transformation is never about one dramatic action, one magical solution, or one moment of sudden inspiration. It is about the tiny choices you make consistently, the mindful attention you give to yourself, and the trust you place in your body's natural wisdom. Every small action, like chewing a tiny spice before bed, compounds over time into extraordinary results. Every night, as your body repairs, restores, and rejuvenates, you are participating in a silent, unstoppable process of growth. Every habit, repeated with intention, builds momentum, strengthens resilience, and shapes the person you are becoming. Your body, your mind, and your life respond to these small, consistent, mindful actions more than you might ever realize. The results are subtle at first, a bit more energy, a bit more focus, a clearer mind, but over time they become undeniable. The discipline you build, the clarity you cultivate, the vitality you gain, and the confidence you develop all emerge from these repeated conscious choices. You are not waiting for luck, for perfect timing, or for external forces to align. You are actively creating the conditions for transformation, one small, intentional step at a time. And that is the true power you hold. The power to influence your health, your energy, and your life from the inside out. The power to honor your body's natural rhythms, to amplify your innate potential, and to consciously participate in your own restoration and growth. Every night is an opportunity. Every small choice is a declaration that you are capable of change, capable of growth, capable of becoming the best version of yourself. So tonight, when you lie down, when the world quiets and your body begins its silent work, remember that every small intentional action matters. The ripple effects of your choices extend far beyond what you can see. You have the ability to awaken tomorrow with more energy, more clarity, and more strength than yesterday. You have the ability to transform your nights into a foundation for your days, and your days into a life of vitality, focus, and purpose. The journey of transformation is built on consistency, mindfulness, and trust in the process. Every small act, repeated consciously, shapes the person you are becoming. Every night is a chance to heal, repair, and grow. Every choice you make matters more than you realize, and it all begins with one small, deliberate action. Your future is not defined by what you have done before, but by what you choose to do tonight. As you reflect on everything we've explored tonight, one truth becomes undeniable. Transformation is never about sudden, dramatic leaps. It is about the small, consistent choices you make, the mindful attention you give to yourself, and the trust you place in your body's natural wisdom. Every tiny action repeated with intention compounds over time into extraordinary results. Your nights, when spent nurturing your body with care, become the foundation for your days of energy, clarity, and strength. Every habit you cultivate, every mindful choice you make shapes the person you are becoming and sets the stage for the life you deserve. You hold within you the power to influence your health, your energy, and your life itself. Your body is capable of incredible restoration, your mind capable of extraordinary clarity, and your potential is limitless when you act with purpose. Every night is a chance to repair, to rejuvenate, and to grow. Every small, deliberate action matters more than you realize, and the compounding effect of these choices will shape your future in ways that seem almost magical. So tonight, when you choose to care for yourself, to honor your body's rhythms, and to act with intention, you are not just preparing for tomorrow, you are creating the life you have always imagined. Every ripple of effort counts, every night builds momentum, and every mindful decision strengthens your journey toward transformation. The power to change is always in your hands, and it starts with the choices you make tonight. Take care.